I'm Emily P. Freeman, and welcome to The Next Right Thing. You're listening to episode 390. This is a podcast about making decisions, but also about making a life. If you struggle with decision fatigue, chronic hesitation, or if you just need a few minutes away from the constant stream of information and the sometimes delightful but distracting hum of entertainment, you're in the right place for discerning your next right thing. I'm an author, a spiritual director, and an occasional workshop leader. I live in North Carolina with my family, and through my work, I've helped thousands of spiritually thoughtful people overcome decision fatigue so that they can discern their next right thing in faith, work, and life. April is my birthday month, so every year I like to dedicate one episode to birthdays in general during April. Maybe something you can come back to when your birthday rolls around. By the way, we have a few other birthday episodes I've done over the years. Episode 272 was a soul minimalist guide to your birthday. And then last year on episode 365, I offered 4 questions that you can ask yourself on your birthday. Since then, we have also created a 7-day collection in the Quiet Collection app specifically designed to listen to during your birth week, one reflection every day leading up to your birthday, with questions designed especially for personal reflection and celebration. Now, of course, you can get that for yourself or as a gift for a friend or a loved one. All you need is their email and we'll do the rest. And that collection is called, you guessed it, the Birthday Collection. Of course, birthdays are a time for celebration, for treating ourselves, for toasting to another year of life. They are also a good time for personal reflection. If you are someone for whom reflection does not come naturally, you might wonder, why do that at all? We can't change the past, so what's the point of looking back? What are the real benefits of reflecting on your life? I'm so glad you asked. Listen in. It's possible to be a person who has many rich experiences, but never fully metabolizes those experiences into their actual life. It is also possible to live a fairly regular life and be a person bursting with wisdom and insight and growth. In my non-scientific and purely anecdotal opinion, I think the difference hinges at least in part on whether or not a person has learned to thoughtfully and honestly reflect on their experiences. John Dewey in How We Think says we do not learn from an experience, we learn from reflecting on an experience. Regular reflection is not something we are communally taught to engage outside of that one time a year at the end of December before the new year begins. But even then, it always seems wrapped in capitalist colored paper to get us to buy something. The end of the year is a good time to look back, but it is not the only time to look back. If we wait until the end of the year to reflect on our lives, we're probably only realistically reflecting on maybe the last quarter of the year at best, the last month, maybe, and realistically. How can we be expected to honestly and accurately reflect on 12 months of living all at one time? Instead, I always say that reflection is a lifestyle, not an event. That's good news because it means you can do it as you go along the way. You don't have to cram it in like exam prep. You don't have to rush, you're not in a hurry, and there's no such thing as behind. Here are just a few of the benefits of reflecting on our lives as we live them and why it matters so much to me. First, I say this one all the time, it leads to more informed decisions. The best teacher for future decisions are decisions that we've already made. If we never take the time to look back on our yeses and our nos, then we risk performing life instead of living life. A second benefit of reflecting on life, and this one might be strange or surprising, a more decluttered house. Reflection reminds us that our memories, our loves, our past joys, they live inside of us. Knowing that we can revisit, learn from, cherish, and enjoy those things and people that we've met and the experiences that we've had, things that we've seen and done, this could help free us up to let go of some of the physical clutter that we have held on to because we've thought that's the thing that I need to keep in order to remember this thing that was so important to me. And listen, I'm all about keeping little mementos and things like that. But I do think that when I regularly reflect, it helps me to know that not only does this thing or this memento remind me of this experience, but actually, the person who I am becoming is different because of that experience. And sometimes that can help me release some of the things that I'm holding on to. A third benefit of reflection, it's not aren't only three, there are many, but one that I want to point out is it leads to self-awareness. You may be able to climb a ladder, wield power and control, make money, and dominate rooms that you walk into without self-awareness. People do it all the time. You might even have relationships, invent or create important things, write really well known and popular books or movies. You might garner success in certain areas. But the kind of integrity that yields wisdom, kindness, and discernment only comes from a right sized view of self. And I don't know how to cultivate that kind of self awareness without being a person who reflects on their experiences and how their interactions impact others. How does my presence impact the people around me? That's a good question to ask yourself. It doesn't mean you have to ruminate or hold on to regret or shame, but reflect through the lens of neutrality as much as is possible on how your presence impacts other people. When you do this as a practice, it gets easier. And when you reflect as a part of your regular rhythm of life, it can begin to change how you show up in a room for the better. Well, in true teacher fashion, I'm not going to just tell you that personal reflection is important, so you should do it without offering you some resources that could help you integrate it into your rhythm of life. You probably already know about these, but I'll repeat them here. For year-round reflection support, the Next Right Thing Guided Journal is a 12-month journal for weekly, monthly, and quarterly lists and questions. If you're a soul minimalist, you know we're in month 4 of Journal Club, but you can start and join us anytime. Every month I do a video check-in sharing how I used my journal that month, what's working, what's not working, and I answer any questions that you might have. We'll do Journal Club all year, so you can join anytime and catch up on the videos that you missed at your own pace. I also send a free email newsletter on the last day of every month. I've done this for over 10 years. And in that newsletter, I send 3 simple reflection questions. I answer them myself in the newsletter, but I invite you to answer them for yourself to help you reflect on the last month before moving ahead into the new one. Like I said, I've been sending that for over a decade. You can get it for free at emilypfreeman.com/letter. All you have to do is sign up. Again, did I mention it's free? Readers tell me they use those questions for journaling prompts at the end of the month. And if that's something that you want to integrate into your life, that letter might be a good resource for you. Emily, I thought this was a birthday episode. Oh, yes, it is. Well, your birthday is another great moment in the year to add to your reflective practice. But you can't wait until your actual day of birth. You got stuff to do, you got cake to eat. So I suggest starting the week before your birthday if you can. Give yourself a longer runway to think about the year you've just lived and begin to consider the one that you're entering into. Now, here are a few questions to get you started that you can ask yourself a week before your birthday. What is a milestone you've reached this year? In what area have you finally made some peace? What is something you've lost? What is something you've celebrated? Is there a word, a phrase, an image, or even a color that represents this most recent year of your life? If you want to develop a habit of reflection, but you do not know where to start, you can start with these 5 questions, but instead of asking them about your whole year, ask a version of them every month. Or, as suggested here, you can save them for your birthday and have that be part of your regular rhythm of life. It's never a wrong time to reflect, and the past is an excellent teacher for the present and the future. So, here's to doing our next right thing in love. Thanks for listening to episode 390 of The Next Right Thing. I hope this simple practice of reflection on your birthday can be just one more rung on the trellis upon which your rhythm of life can continue to grow. Because while it's true this is a podcast about making decisions, we also know our daily decisions are making our lives. If If you want some guidance for the week leading up to your birthday, or you want to send it to a friend or loved one who has a birthday, download the Quiet Collection app and navigate to the birthday collection, where you can purchase for yourself or for a friend. There, I will lead you through 7 guided reflections, including questions, toasts, celebratory odes to you. We've got the link in the show notes for you to learn more. As always, you can find me online at emilypfreeman.com or on Instagram at emilypfreeman. This episode was edited by the team at Unmutable and organized by Ashley Sherlock. We have a few more weeks of new episodes for this spring season, and then we'll take a bit of time off until we come back with Psalm Summer in late June. Stay tuned for more. In closing, here are a few words from Joan Didion in her collection of essays, Slouching Towards Bethlehem. I think we are well advised to keep on nodding terms with the people we used to be, whether we find them attractive company or not. Otherwise, they turn up unannounced and surprise us, come hammering on the mind's door at 4 a.m. of a bad night, and demand to know who deserted them, who betrayed them, who is going to make amends. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.